So you beautiful people, the conversation about skill-based matchmaking is back. If you haven't seen Drifter and Exclusive Ace's video, then I highly recommend you check them out because those guys have found some type of correlation to skill-based matchmaking in terms of if you play 5 good games, it seems as if you'll be put in a harder lobby just to bring you right back down to earth and keep you in check. Now, there are several things I've got wrong with that I feel is wrong with this. I also believe that skill-based matchmaking is strong in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Now, I hear this conversation from the developers quite often. They want newer players to come into the game, not get punched in the mouth. But it seems to me that you're willing for the more experienced player to get punched in the mouth just to save those people in that are going to come into the game as a new player, which kind of contradicts your whole setup and Infinity Ward's whole belief in this system, because you're creating this quote-unquote safe space. But to create this safe space, you need to hang somebody out to the wolves. And that's the experienced player, the player that is going to buy your game irrespective of what type of ad campaign you've got going on. And that's me. I have brought every single Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2 without even thinking about it. Advertised the game, most times I've been queued up. Now, it was very apparent to me that in Black Ops 2 there was some heavy skill-based matchmaking in the first few weeks of the game. It was so horrendous that I left to go back to Modern Warfare 3 because I just couldn't deal with it. Every single game felt like some type of championship game to me, and I just couldn't understand how I'd worked so hard in Modern Warfare 2, even though I'd came to that game a few months later than everyone after the Christmas noobs, because I came in February. I worked so hard to try and get better at a game only to be told by a developer, nope, you're not allowed to get better at this game. We're going to keep you like that. Now, surely these guys don't have any real concept of how humans work and how their brains work and how emotions work. We are driven by reward. That is how human nature is. We are driven by reward, and that's what makes Call of Duty so addictive. You get rewarded for your chains by streaks. Now, it's a repetition that's also addictive. Can you do this for how many games in a row? And can I improve on the amount of kills I can get with these streaks each game? Now, what happens when you nullify that? You put me into a skill-based match-made game where I can't obtain those streaks. Then I start feeling a bit down about myself because I feel like I'm underperforming, and I'm harder on myself because I'm like, wow, you was doing well. Is it something you're doing? Especially when people don't know about this algorithm, this skill-based matchmaking, and especially when it's been made out in the past to be, as Drifter would say, the boogeyman. But it's nice to see there is a correlation, because now we may have some answers from the developers. Now, there was an interview with the developers of Call of Duty Modern Warfare where they said we didn't want new players to get punched in the mouth, and that is why the maps are so pauperous. And the direct response by whoever was interviewing was, that's not going to be at the cost of the more experienced players, is it? And you could see the look in those guys' faces because they did not know how to answer that particular question. Now, my problem with this is, how am I supposed to enjoy a game if you're not going to allow me to improve at it? You're going to put me in every game possible that you can to keep me in check and stagnate something that I've been keeping track of for years, my kill death ratio. Now, there's a massive debate every year about, does it really matter? No, it doesn't really matter. However, it is a good marker to see, as me as an individual looking at my combat record, how well I'm doing as opposed to the previous Call of Duty. And it's no secret that everybody, even higher skilled players and big YouTubers are struggling dearly on Call of Duty Modern Warfare to get even a third closer to their 2/3 closer to their original KD that they've managed to carry for how many years. Black Ops 2 at the start of the game, heavy skill based matchmaking, left it for Modern Warfare 3. A lot of people complained about it. When they toned it back down, went on to be one of the best Call of Duties ever made. Advanced Warfare, a lot of people talk about it being the boost movements that turn them off. It wasn't, it was the skill based matchmaking. It was rife in the game. It was probably at its worst. Then you had the pay to win weapon meta as well. Currently in Call of Duty, people are complaining about the maps because they're just so random. Footsteps are so loud, and then we've got skill-based matchmaking to amplify all the problems with the game. It could be one of the best. Believe me, I really like the game, but I don't love it. And skill-based matchmaking is one of those reasons why I don't love it, because I feel like every game I have to conform and not play how I've always played, and this is taking away the familiarity of the game for me. Call of Duty, a franchise I know and love for several years, seems to have changed, seems to not be the same, and once you start messing with the recipe, you're gonna start losing people. What, for the sake of a couple 100,000 new players? I came as a new player in Modern Warfare 2 and I had to learn how to get better at the game. I had to buckle down and try new things and learn from my mistakes. I ran out in an open when I knew there was gunfire. I heard somebody reloading, didn't pay attention, got killed. There was a Harrier in the sky, ran out in the open, got killed. I had to learn, and that was the skill gap. Wasn't as massive as Rainbow Six or Overwatch, but it was still a skill gap. However, the casual element is what keeps us playing Call of Duty, and I love what Exclusive Ace said in his video. The law of statistics is what should decide what the lobby's like. You're always going to have your good players, your average players, and your not so good players, and that is how the game should work. Black Ops 1 had this down to perfection. That's why that game went down as my #1 Call of Duty, because there were times you could pump stomp and be an absolute god on the game, like your name was Optic Scumpy or just Scumpy now. And there was times you come up against either a good player or a good clan, and the clan would absolutely wipe the floor with you. My win percentage on Call of Duty Black Ops was 97%. And that's because I played with the clan every night, and we often enough won most of our games. Now, I met some people that I still speak to now from Black Ops, and it seems as if in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, they're even telling us who we can play with now, because I had a conversation with a guy in a lobby the other day, and lo and behold, I was rudely ejected from that lobby where I couldn't make friends on Call of Duty. I couldn't utilize my headset and my PlayStation Network friends list to make friends again. I can't do that in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, because if I do well, I'm promptly removed from that lobby. It searches for another lobby and I'm rudely shoved into that one. So now it's a safe space for newer players, and I can't make friends on a computer game or socialize with my own subs because this game wants to remove me from it. It needs to be worked out, and it needs to be worked out fast, because I know we say this every year, but Call of Duty has been in a bit of a funk for a few years, and it's little things like this that they persist on doing that need ejecting swiftly from Call of Duty. Take it from someone who is a consumer of your product. Eventually, people will stop spending that money. I have thought about it, you know what I mean? I have had to play betas now to the point where I'm like, I'm not sure if I like this game, and that's exactly what happened with Black Ops 4. I stopped playing that game after 2 months. Stopped uploading it on the channel, took the risk. The same thing happened with World War II. stopped playing it because it was not familiar, and that's what's going on right now. Modern Warfare needs maps that are 3-lane, Call of Duty-like, to get its identity back, because it can be one of the best CODs we've had in a long time. And it certainly needs to get rid of the strong skill-based matchmaking. Skill-based matchmaking is still going to be needed, but nowhere near as strong as it is now. If it was anything like Black Ops 1, I will play this game for probably 2 years if the next game can't follow up. And I just need to know what you guys think about this whole situation down in the comment section. I'm really sorry if this has come across as a rant, but it is a subject that a lot of us are very passionate about, and there are people that sit on both sides of the fence. I don't feel I've got the right to pub stunt in every game, and that is not what I'm asking for here, but I don't want to be sweating like I'm playing ranked. That is not me. That's not what I turn up for Call of Duty for. If I wanted to play a sweatfest every single game, then I would enroll in some type of ranked playlist. Don't force me to have to make that decision where I need to leave. Give me the choice. Am I going to be casual today, or am I going to be ranked? Guys, let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on skill-based matchmaking and what you believe Infinity Ward should do, because I feel like developers lately have been very arrogant in their mindset and very stubborn in what we ask them for when we pay that money. It's not a free-to-play game. It is not a free-to-play game. It's a franchise that I've followed for several years, and I've paid well in excess of £1,000 for these games in total, not including the DLC money I've put in the game. So guys, there are many buttons you could hit, but a like and subscribe button, I hope they took your fancy. And as always guys, don't forget to stay on the right track. Peace.